Welcome to the It's the Oakland and Me podcast, where we bring you the stories, voices, and vibrant culture of our city, Oakland, California. I'm Renata Butler, your co-host, and I'm here with my beautiful Black sister, Angela Claiborne. Together, we're going to dive into the people, places, and passion that makes Oakland, Oakland. Join us as we explore inspiring logos, tackle real issues, and celebrate everything truly special. So turn up the volume and join us as we tackle this second episode of It's the Oakland and Me podcast. Welcome back to today's episode of It's the Oakland and Me. Today we're going to do a little introduction of Angela Claiborne, my beautiful sister. We're going to get to know her a little bit more today. So let's dive into the first question. Tell us about yourself and your connection to Oakland.
I was born and raised in Oakland. I was born at Kaiser Hospital on MacArthur in Oakland, California. I went to school from preschool at Bushrod Recreation Center. Yes, Bushrod used to have a preschool. Washington Elementary on Shattuck, Verdice R. Carter, and class of 84, Oakland Tech Bulldog. So I did all of my schooling. Even though I moved from North Oakland to East Oakland, I rode that 40 bus, 43, 57. Sometime if I meet my friend, I was just all over the place. So Oakland is definitely the beginning of my foundational route.
When was the last time you were in Oakland?
I think September. Yeah, because I was there for meetup for our 40th class reunion. But I go home every few months or so. Just, yeah, randomly. Sometimes I'll just be like, I need to see my mama.
Because you have the opportunity to come home more than I do because you're closer. What are some of the things that you are positive big changes to Oakland that you're seeing?
One of the things that I am noticing is a lot more young people are jumping into politics because I think what they see is they don't like what they see. And the only way to make change is you get in there and you start showing that you care, that you want to be a part of something, and then you can share your new ideas and your view. And that's one thing I do see, um, the overall change in Oakland is that the government, city government, let these young people in and let them start making some positive changes. They're the people who know what they want to see when they grow up, when they get old. So
Then
yes, I
more
love that.
relevant to their
Right,
what they have going on in their life versus what someone at 70 years old, like Oakland is not that same Oakland that it was for you when you were 15, 16, 20, 21, versus now the young people who are that age. So it's totally different Oaklands.
right. Because there's a whole generation of people who grew up being technology savvy. Like, I don't think any of our kids have ever not owned an electronic
Right.
device. And so, I mean, that's different from when we were kids. We went outside and played.
Right.
But now these kids have different mindsets, so they have more to bring to the table to me.
Right. What's one thing other than, of course, having the government, the policing changes that are more in tune with the current culture in the current way that we live our lives. What's something else that you wish that were changing on?
I'd like to see us go back to being close to people and feeling that neighborhood vibe. I mean, I myself, I know I can still count. My mom's street is still the neighborhood vibe. So I do see that. But there's not a lot of that because some people don't even know their neighbors. And then people have lived across the street maybe 10 years and you don't know them.
Right.
You just see them coming and going. So that's one thing that I'd like to see. I'd like to see people um, respecting their neighbors like we did, or there was just some things we weren't going to do in front of our neighbors. So,
Just the respect level.
right. I'd like to see Oakland go back to, being respectful. But I have heard young people say, we see y'all do some stuff. And
Yeah, it's hard for
I get it.
someone that is not being
Right.
respectful.
Right. They are like, I'm not. No, I can't be respectful to them because they're out there doing the same thing we doing, but y'all doing it in 1980 version of it or the early 90s version of it. So I get it. I do get it.
What is it about growing up at Oakland that you think is unique from other cities, even in the Bay Area?
One thing about growing up in Oakland, we learned how to be very adaptable. Like when stuff happens, we just change with it, and it would actually be one of them kind of changes where you be like, "Oh, I didn't know." Yeah, we just said, "Hey, it happened. We got to move with it." So that's one thing I do think that makes us unique because we're very adaptable. Um, we see the tides of everything changing, and we just go with the flow. It doesn't necessarily mean all the time that going with the flow is the right thing or the cool thing, but some of us will buck up and be like, "Oh no, we're not doing that." Now that is something you will hear. "Oh no, we don't get down like that." Where they do that at?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
we don't do that here. Yeah,
right,
well, of
right.
course,
That's
some
not
things
all.
we do here, but don't.
Trying to get us canceled.
So, what's your favorite neighborhood in Oakland?
Oh, you're not gonna have me go like that. Well, okay,
Okay, well, if you
my
move back to Oakland, what's the neighborhood you would live in?
oh man, come on now, that ain't fair. Cause I can't afford either of 'em. Wait, so no, I'm not picking. I'm not picking because I always have something that ties me to each neighborhood. North Oakland, I'm always gonna have that vibe with the Temescal, Bushrod area where we grew up when I was younger. And then as I got older, we hang out at the lake or the lake is where you go shop or hang out or do a little sipping on the weekend. That's the area. And then it's East Oakland. I'm just like my mama. You can look, we can go post up at my mama house or something like that. So that's why I said I'm not picking because that might get me in trouble. Look, I need to be able to move around Oakland when I come to Oakland. I need to be able to be in them corners and be cool.
What's one neighborhood in Oakland that has changed for the better?
You know what? There is, well, I'm gonna always say that no matter what, that darn Fruitvale district, they always stay on point and they always stay kind of family oriented. But that's a cultural thing for, a lot of people that live there. Because when I go, I'm like, whoa, what this here? Oh, that's nice. So, but I would like to see that happen more in East Oakland. I always think because North Oakland is close to Berkeley and they're always gonna have their vibe. And they're bordered by Emeryville. So they have something to, kind of
Or
build
type
off.
of growth going on
Right.
really there. They
Right.
have that. But it seems like East Oakland is left constantly,
Right.
you know? So,
Right.
yeah.
So I'd like to see that start to build up and things start to be a little more polished or even the whole situation, homeless situation. I feel like it can be handled differently. It's like yes, we can't take people's rights to be unhoused. I mean, we can't take that away, but we can help make it a better aesthetic way of looking at it from all people who are affected by it, you know? So there's enough land, there's enough.
There's enough
I'm pretty
communities, there's enough people
right,
that could pour into the same way you're pouring in
right,
certain neighborhoods, you can pour into this neighborhood too. Because, it's there. I think it's a misconception that people want to be homeless and that they want to be like, yeah, there are some people who are out there on the street who are not going to try to do better. That's just their thing. But there are some people who, they literally just got laid off. And the next thing you know, that they haven't worked in a year, and it's not that they want to be homeless, living out of their car, living in a tent. It's just, that's just their lot in life. So people always think of homelessness as, oh, they're on drugs, they're alcoholics, they're doing this, they're pedophiles. And it's like, nah,
there is a whole new aesthetic of people who are homeless. And it's different. It is very different. Yes, we still have the same people who have been homeless for the reason that you said before, but there's a new aesthetic of people who are homeless now. So we have to remember that you got to direct those people differently too. And they may be more open to city services or, county services that will help them get back on their feet
right.
and, build up their own, what they have already will help build on it.
And then just what having affordable housing, and not necessarily needing, I forgot what I was watching. I can probably pull it up and we can insert it in. But it was basically, a room, but they also had a bathroom and a tub. And they were like, so many people, they can go to a place to take a shower and clean themselves up, but to actually take a bath, just the
Right.
comforts of that is a major thing for them. So
And maybe we can reach out and see if we can get somebody from the homeless advocacy or something on to talk about it because when I say it looks different, there are some people out there at homeless that they don't meet the mold. They really don't meet the mold of what we think is homeless.
this
So
one issue that is in Oakland, that even though you don't live in Oakland anymore, that you wish you could what's a cause in Oakland that you really want to rally behind and draw attention to that, like, I don't know, I'm thinking I'm using the wrong words.
you know what? We were just talking about it. There are a lot of homeless young people, and I like to, see where before they're like out there for 20, 30 years, that because over by, I think it was by the Coliseum one time, there was like a bunch of them and they all looked like they were teenage. And so I was wondering, is it because they were emancipated minors or they just left home and never came back and nobody ever came to look for them? I'd like to see that dressed because there's grants out there's scholarships. I mean, there are some of those kids, they were probably doing good in school and their homelessness or, an issue with a parent. So, like to tap into those young people, see what they think about the future. Because, and that's funny that you said that because we did a girls summit here and it was this young lady and she just kept being in my radar. I kept seeing her, whatever. And she was talking and they were asking people, what are your plans for the future? And she said, oh, just to get out that house. And, that kind of got me the first time. But then when they asked something else, she was like, oh no, I just want to be done with being at home. And they were like, well, what about school or whatever? Yeah. I mean, I do good at school. And so, the follow-up for me was, well, how well do you do? And her sister just chimed in, oh no, she a A and B student or even better. And so, that kind of got me to like, then what else do you want to do? And so I feel like there are a lot of kids that they don't have anybody asking them what they want to do or what I mean, they not, they're not saying, right. They hear them saying, I just want to get out of your house. So they don't take interest in them in any other way. So that's the kind of kid I want to, reach out to and say, hey, well, you have options. or what? I mean, what do you like to do? What do you, and it may not even be college. It may be, going to a tech school or going to, a, where you learn a craft, learn
I'm training.
and a trade. Yeah. And I feel like it's so much. When we graduated, it was like Miss Smith, our counselor, like really went over everything with you. She was like, "What you want to do? You don't
One
like this,
we
or
don't do that nowadays.
they don't have time." And that's why I'm going to help people because the counselors is so busy trying to cover for a teacher that they have a shortage for. So that's what I really want to. I want to get in, and I want to be able to help at least set the groundwork because the most powerful thing these kids have, even if they homeless or not, they have a cell phone. That cell phone is a computer, and you can make things happen for yourself. So
You stay
yeah,
connected. You're not disconnected as it was before.
right, right.
What's one thing that, or it could be multiple things that makes you proud that you're from Oakland? That's going on in Oakland now. That you just like from Oakland. That makes me proud to see that.
I see a lot of young people because I Google and I look and I say, oh, I see young people who are like graduating with a 4.5. Um, they're going to MIT. They're or even community outreach people. I see people that are doing a lot in the community, and people are not recognizing them for that. And I feel like, okay, I'm from Oakland. I like that. I love that vibe. I see where the brothers it's getting together with young men and, talking to the young men and, trying to guide them in the right direction or people speaking on the community saying, hey, this is not the culture of Oakland. You don't need to be out here doing this. This is what you can be doing. You can come to my business. You can learn how to run a business. I mean, there's so many people out there who are so they love the city so much that they put their heart out there. And so that's the part of me that really I'm proud to be because there even though the media will paint it to be what it is, there are so many people in Oakland with that heart. And we've always knew that there were people in the city with the heart, but they wanted to focus on the other stuff.
And then I just love that we can, especially with social media and just the internet, we can support local Oakland owned business owners or people from the town that we like, oh, even though you live here, I know you from the town, I'm gonna support you. So I
Right.
love that.
Right.
I do try to support as many as I can. And like we've talked before, like if I can't do it, I'm gonna pass you on to somebody else. To like, hey, you see this one just like you do all the time. This is in Oakland. Did you know this restaurant was here and we got this and this when I went home? So yeah, just remembering that and supporting and the people who are there, you're like, hey, have you been to this place? Or have you seen it what they're
Right.
doing? So I think that's a big thing. Um,
Yeah, that's one thing I do try to do when I go home. I try to tap into places and you know me, my sister say I'm a social media person, but I am. I'm gonna get on there, I'm gonna tag them, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna shout it out. And then I've had people like there's a lady that lives here. She went to the Bay Area for the first time ever. And it was kind of like a solo trip. And I was like, uh-oh, she out there by herself. But she was like, girl, what should I do? And I said, well, before you leave, you got to go to the lake. And then I gave her some other recommendations. And she's like, I even went to the hood, girl. And I felt at home because she's from Detroit, I think. So she felt like she was at home. She was like, I enjoy that you didn't just send me to all the places that look
what-
nice and that very flowery. She said, no, you sent me to the hood. And she said, and I enjoyed it. She went, I think she went to Marcus Bookstore and bought a whole bunch of stuff. She was so juiced. She
right,
was like, "I never knew it
right.
existed." And because I was, I felt proud because I know I mean, this the same lady I'm thinking she in Bali or somewhere else right now, but she really enjoyed her trip to Oakland. And I love that. I love that.
So
Oh,
this is our first time doing a podcast and we're making our way trying to decide the direction. We would definitely have guests. I can't wait to my person that I want to be our first guest. But which one? Who are you wishing? What's one person you wish that we could interview? That's from Oakland.
Because I have so many. I'm gonna put it like this. I want it to be a person who is tapped into the community, who can share their life goal and what they want to bring to Oak. Well, what they want to nourish and what they want to flourish in Oakland based on what they're already doing. That's what I'm saying. It's not necessarily one person in particular, because I got a laundry list of people, and I'm hoping y'all tap into us before we tap into you, and you don't tell us no, because we new and we fresh and we're just trying to do what we're trying to do. We want to stay connected to home too. Because sometimes when you move away from home, you break the cycle of being able to, have that connection. I feel like I'm so connected that everybody that meet me, if you've met me within 30 minutes, you already know I'm from Oakland. Because I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know. Not even gonna try to make it seem like, oh no, I don't want you to know I'm from Oakland. No, you're gonna know.
Just to be proud of it. Uh, in a
Right.
good way. Like people be like, well, people
Right.
from Oakland are so proud of it. And it's like, we are for some reason.
Right.
And we just like, yep.
Right.
So yeah. And
Yeah, we Oakland Pride.
that's a wrap for today's episode of It's the Oakland and Me podcast. Thank you for tuning in and celebrating the strength, diversity, and heart of Oakland with us. Stay tuned and stay connected with us as we dive into what's important to people from Oakland and currently living in Oakland. And thank you for just tuning in and celebrating life with us.